Thank you for being here. Thanks for your time. I know it's a busy period, so can you please introduce yourself and in case our readers doesn't know about WalletConnect, tell us something about your project.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. It's really nice to meet you. So I'm Jess Houlgrave. I'm the CEO at WalletConnect. WalletConnect has been around since 2018. It's a network that allows wallets and apps to communicate and connect with each other. I've been with the project for just over 2 years now, excited to chat more with you.
Yeah, I'm really sure our readers know about the project. I personally use it a lot, especially during the NFT period. Um, so, what are the biggest problems still holding DeFi back in terms of mass adoption? What do you think?
So one of the things that we're really focused on at WalletConnect is user experience. We think that user experience is still a big barrier to enabling people to use their crypto in ways that they want to use that. So that can be trading DeFi, it can be buying an NFT, it can be making a purchase in store, like doing a payment, for example. All of these things are still really clunky for the most part to do today. And that can be for a variety of reasons. But at WalletConnect, we really try to focus on this idea of user experience. So what does that mean? It means a big focus on security. One of the biggest reasons that end users say that they don't use crypto more is because they're worried about losing their funds, getting scammed, for example. So we have something called the Verify API, which helps with that, as well as our certified programs. Another big gap in user experience is still just like the number of clicks that it takes to do something. It can be really complicated in crypto. And so we try to, the work that we do with our wallet partners tries to change that in wallet user experience. And then the final piece is really around like the complexity of having multiple chains, multiple assets. Every single day at the moment, I hear about a new stablecoin launching, which is great for those companies. A little bit more challenging, though, for an end user if you have your assets on 10 different chains and you have some in USD1, some in USD2, some in USD3. Like, how do you use those in an easy way? And so a lot of the work that we do really focuses on these types of friction points because we really believe that end users should be able to self-custody their assets. That's really important. And that they should be able to use those assets freely.
And regarding the multi-chain fragmentation, recently you integrate Ton network. So can you tell us more about this news?
Yeah, so we at WalletConnect, our kind of core infrastructure is broadly chain agnostic, which means it can be worked with any chain out there. What we try to do by partnering with new chains like Ton, like Tron, like Sui, and others that we've launched in the last 12 months is to make sure that the developer experience that they have is really great and that all of the pieces of the stack that sit around WalletConnect are compatible with their chains. This is important for us because we want end users to have a good experience when using WalletConnect, as well as the developers who build on WalletConnect. And so these are really great opportunities for us to partner with those foundations, partner with those chains, make sure the user experience is best in class. And Ton, especially, I think I'm very excited about, has a huge end user community, millions and millions of users, and is rapidly growing. And I think it has a great chance of being one of the key kind of core places that people interact with crypto. So it's a really, really exciting partnership for us.
And how does WalletConnect view the future of wallets in terms of digital identity?
So I think one of the reasons that we exist is because we believe that there should be multiple different wallets out there. If you think about an end user, even just a single user, they're going to want to use a wallet for different things. So I want one wallet for when I just go to the coffee shop, I can tap and pay really quickly. I want a different wallet with like different security settings, for example, when I think about my life savings. And so we have this like very broad spectrum of wallets. And I think that the role of the wallet is going to continue to adapt. So we're going to continue to see this diversity in different wallets, people building wallets for specific use cases. And I think the identity of an individual is a really important part of that. Our identity is very deeply embedded with finance, the way that we transact, whether that's online or in store. Could be, for example, as simple as proving that I'm over 18 in order to buy something online. But it also could be sharing my data securely with people. And so I think that it's very likely that the technological properties of a wallet and a blockchain are very suited for this kind of secure storage of identity information. We can set permissions to enable me to share data securely with people, but also to revoke access to that data. So it seems to me very natural that the wallet will be, or some wallets will be, a place that that people store identity information and can therefore use that identity information wherever they can use the wallet.
Yeah, we talked about security. What about privacy and user protection? What's next for WalletConnect in those terms?
Privacy is obviously just a huge topic right now in terms of blockchain. We see great new chains that have privacy at the chain level. Things like Canton, for example, Aztec, many others at the moment are in the process of launching or have launched very recently. And I think that's going to be a really interesting evolution and change for the industry as we start to see these privacy-enabled chains. That doesn't, though, preclude the fact that a lot of the networks that are already out there don't have privacy built in at the chain level. And so the industry needs to think about how these two worlds will start to integrate with one another. I think for mass adoption, whatever you want to call mass adoption, but I think for the onboarding of big financial institutions, for the real adoption of payments and of crypto as a payment method, these privacy elements are going to be very, very important for us. And so at WalletConnect, a lot of the work that we do is at the standards level anyway. We partner with the Ethereum Foundation, with many other foundations out there to develop the best user standards and roll them out across the industry. And privacy, of course, is an important part of that.
Yeah, you mentioned right now a financial institution. Is WalletConnect interested in becoming more B2B infrastructure or more a consumer tool?
So I think really today we are both, and I think we're going to continue that way. So what do I mean by that? The people who choose to integrate WalletConnect from a technical perspective are businesses. They are either wallets or, on the other side of the ecosystem, they are applications, payments companies, banks, asset managers. But the tool itself is used on a day-to-day by the end user. And so it's really important for me that we have a great offering for those businesses, but also that end users recognize and feel that they can use the WalletConnect network. A good analogy would be something like Visa, for example, where as an end user, you kind of recognize the Visa brand, you take your card in store to pay, and wherever you see Visa, you can make a payment. But you're not a direct customer of Visa. Visa is a network that is distributed through merchants and through issuers, through card payment companies. And similarly, WalletConnect is similar. We are issued and used through applications, through payments companies, through wallets. But of course, the end user is the person who sees the WalletConnect sign and knows that they can use their wallet. And so that's what's really important for us as well.
And how important is a mobile-first strategy for Web3 right now, but also in the future?
I mean, I think mobile is super important in a number of different ways. Over history, as we've seen new technologies evolve, they've always gone through this moment where they've shifted to mobile. Even something like social networks all started on desktop, they've moved to mobile. online banking, started online, moved to mobile. Pretty much everything I do now can be done on my mobile. Maybe there's a few things that I prefer to do on a desktop, but typically mobile is the place that most end users are interacting with things that are online and on the internet. And especially in developing countries where often the mobile phone is the only point of access to the internet for consumer. So for me, it's very, very likely we still see a big proportion of on-chain activity on desktop, but I think it's very likely, at least for retail use cases, that we see a lot of that shifting onto mobile over the next few years. At WalletConnect, we make sure, obviously, the mobile wallets have always been a big component of the WalletConnect network, but even on the app side of the network, we build our SDKs in Kotlin and Swift and Flutter in languages that can be built very, and used natively on the mobile phone, because that's where we see the best user experience. And I think that is going to really continue to drive a lot of the growth of the industry.
And speaking about the future and maybe next year, what do you think will be the biggest trend in the crypto space?
I think probably my expectation is that we continue much along the lines of this year. And we've seen WalletConnect anyway, we've seen two big trends. One is kind of institutions coming online. We've had a lot of custodians join the WalletConnect network so that their users can do things like trade, stake, access DeFi, participate in governance, for example. And I expect that to continue as more and more mature and sophisticated institutions start to hold and use their crypto assets in different ways. And then the second is the adoption of stablecoins for things like payments. This year, we've seen huge growth in terms of the payments volumes. And I think that will be another trend that continues into 2026. Will be a big driver, actually, for onboarding net new users into crypto who've never had a crypto wallet before, never done anything with crypto before, but whose neobank is starting to move on to crypto rails. And for the first time, those people will hold stablecoins and they'll want to do things with those stablecoins.
About stablecoin, what do you think about the fact that many companies are trying to launch their own stablecoin? So we will have so many stablecoins on the market, and so I think a lot of fragmentation as well. It will be more. Is it a problem, do you think, having so many cryptos, or is it something good for the end customer?
Look, I think it's you can look at it in two different ways. It's a really interesting development that it's now very easy for companies to issue stablecoins, and that changes the dynamic of the stablecoin industry in terms of who can benefit from the yield that a stablecoin issuer is having. Historically, that was highly concentrated, and now we're going to start to see that change. End users, though, it's still problematic in two ways. Number one, the end user actually doesn't, or very, very rarely is able to benefit from that yield. And so they are not benefiting from this shift. And then secondly, they are having to manage and hold assets in many, many different places, which can add a lot of complexity. The last thing I want to do when I open my crypto wallet is see my USD something balance 20 different times, and I have no idea in aggregate how much US dollar value I have on stablecoins. Similarly, I don't want to have one stablecoin, go into a shop, and they only accept another stablecoin. So we have to solve this interoperability challenge. We have to solve these user experience challenges, because otherwise I think this fragmentation of stablecoins is going to be quite tricky for end users specifically.
So thank you so much, Jess, for your overview. And do you want to add something? This was the last question I had. If you want to add something, that's your turn.
Thank you. Well, look, I think it's been really great to see you, and thank you for having me today. My message, as always, when I finish these these interviews, is to end users, which is that if you're using WalletConnect, please share feedback. We love to hear stories of people building with WalletConnect, and excited for 2026.
Thank you so much, Jess.
Thanks.